He's giving us whatever we want. Are you setting this up? Is someone setting this up?
Yeah, no.
Everyone is standing talking. I don't see anybody setting it up.
There is a missing link.
The missing link. Darwin has been looking for this for 100 years. So Krishna gives us whatever we want, but we don't know what to want. This body we have now, the family we are born in, how much money we have, how much education we have, this is all because of what we wanted in our previous lives. Anybody fully satisfied with their body? So we don't know what you want. You understand? It's like you place an order and you get the order and you're like, no. So if we want the best thing, if we want our spiritual body, if we want our eternal life, then we need to meditate on that eternal life. Does this make sense to everybody? Like if you want to get a degree in medicine, you have to be meditating on your degree in medicine or you will never achieve it. You cannot say, yes, I would like to be a doctor, and then you just do something else. So we need to absorb our mind in Krishna. That is what we mean by Krishna consciousness. And these guys will get it working. Yes, they will. So that though is a little difficult because we are seeing and hearing and touching and tasting and smelling and thinking about the things in this world. Am I correct?
Yes.
We're thinking about the trees and the sun and our family and the exam we have to take and all of these things. And then it's difficult. We think, okay, in order to think of Krishna, I have to stop doing all of these other things and I just have to first you turn it on.
It's turned on. You just need to connect it.
It's actually turned on, then remove the thing.
It will come up naturally.
You have to remove the block.
Mute kar do, right?
He has the thing. Yeah, there you go. All right. Woohoo!
It's there. It's straight now.
Yeah.
ठीक है वो
Okay, but I want to do a little test. I don't think the sound will work, but we'll try it. If it works, then I have a very special surprise, and if it doesn't work, then I don't. But we'll try. Please make sure for tomorrow they have a proper sound hookup. No, they have no sound. Okay, I'm sorry. I was going to also show you a nice video.
We can connect this. You can play the sound and we can use.
It's not coming through. I already tried it. It's not going through at all.
They will put this mic.
Mics, there will be, no, this is a really nice, first-class, world-class video. Not that you stick a mic next to a speaker. This is you stick a proper thing in the computer and it goes to nice speakers. And it's everything is world-class. No, I'm not going to do it that way.
Can you please try to play that?
I will try to play it again. But we will not do it with like that. I won't do it like that anyway. It's playing right now.
Is the sound on?
Yeah, I'm playing it right now.
यहाँ पे भी होता है. Last time we connected.
से आएगा मुझे प्रोजेक्टर से नहीं आएगा.
आउटपुट डिपेंड करता है आउटपुट डिवाइस क्या आपने डाला हुआ है.
Yeah, I understand that, but I'm not going to do it with a mic to those speakers anyway. I'm not going to do that.
Can we just try once?
No, because I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
If you have an auxiliary plug that goes in my computer and goes to nice speakers, I will do that. And then I will make sure that the sound output is correct. But if you are just going to stick a mic to the speaker there, I'm not going to bother. Okay?
This is the only arrangement we have right now.
Then we will not do it. Another time. Okay.
Always.
Auxiliary A बताना है.
Next.
Auxiliary A बताना.
You have a nice projector, that's good. So we want to take the things that we are seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, smelling, thinking about, and we want them to act as what's called an udipana, to remember. Now what am I going to say to you? There you go. We want them to act as an udipana to remember Krishna. Well, do any of you know what an udipana is? No? Okay. So in rasa, in order to have rasa, you need 5 things. You need your basic relationship. Like if you have a friend, but you may not be thinking of your friend all the time. So you need something that is your basic relationship. You need something to stimulate your feeling of friendship. Maybe you see a picture of your friend, you hear the name of your friend, you go to a place that your friend likes to go, and that is a stimulant for your feeling of friendship. Does everybody understand this? Okay? So the general word for a stimulant in rasa theory is vibhava, and one subcategory of that is called an udipana. So everything that we experience in this world can be an udipana or a stimulant to remember Krishna. So that is the journey we're going to go on today. And because we are starting extremely late, and because I have an early morning class, I am not going to do all of this. So I'm going to skip some parts of it, and I hope you will excuse me. We're going to start with Bhagavad Gita chapter 7. Now as we go through this, I would like you all, if possible, to take some notes, if you have a paper or if you have a phone. And I'm going to ask you at the end, which one of these you would like to meditate on in the next week. So you please pick 1, 2, or at most 3 things that in the next week you're going to particularly be meditating upon. Is that okay? That's okay? All right. Oh, I should also tell you that, do you have a book? Do you have any books?
On the book.
They're bringing from the car.
No.
This is like an outro. Can you get one of the Krishna meditation? Just one. I'm left. Yes. Okay. So there's one quote where Srila Prabhupada says that if we think like this, the material world will go away. Now that doesn't mean you don't have a physical body that gets old and sick and you break your leg. But it means you will not experience in your consciousness that you are in the material world. Would that be nice? Yeah. There's one lecture where Srila Prabhupada says 3 times, if you can think like this, there'll be no more material world, there'll be no more material world, there'll be no more material world. So one of the big questions I get asked as I travel is, how do I balance my material and spiritual life? And my answer is always, why are you having a material life? And people think that means that then I have to quit my job and leave my family and go sit at Radhakunda and chant all day. But that's not what Krishna said. He says, Mama Yuswam Yujicha. Think of me while you fight. To transform how we are understanding everything in this world. Does that sound good to everybody?
Yes.
Who would like to live in the spiritual world right now in this body? Okay, so pick 1, 2, or 3 things that you're going to meditate on. First thing, Krishna says, I am Om. So he says this 3 times, and we may think, Om, this is the beginning sound of the whole creation. And actually everything, even this chair, it is still vibrating. The scientists say, the molecules, everything. And it is making this sound Om. But not only Om, Krishna says he is all the sounds. And there's one class where Prabhupada says, if you don't want to chant Hare Krishna, you can meditate how Krishna is in all the sounds. Now this can be a little challenging. How is Krishna the sounds of the fan? But it's fun to do this, to think about the sounds. Can you listen to the sounds in this room? All these sounds in this room, Krishna says, that is him. And I am the seed. Krishna says this also 3 times. So bhakti, it starts as a seed in the heart that gradually grows to love of God. And Krishna says he is the proper relationship between husband and wife. When we see that there's husband and wife loving each other, loving their children, that is Krishna. And he is strength that is used to protect others. When we are using our strength, or we see others using their strength to protect others, thank you so much. That is Krishna. So we have some copies of this book here, where we have some little 5-minute meditations. You can just open anywhere, and you can read this yourself or with your children, and so many nice pictures, so that you can meditate on these. Tonight we're doing from the Gita, but there's also here from Bhagavatam and from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So the heat in fire, can we become aware of the heat in this room? Can you feel that there's heat in this room? Yes? So heat, no more, just this. So heat is indicative of life and love. And when we feel the heat, we know that is Krishna, that the universe is not a cold, impersonal machine, but it is actually the loving, warm existence of Krishna. And the original fragrance of the earth, how wonderful it is that from the same sun and the same dirt and the same water, you have all these different fragrances. You have rose, you have jasmine, you have lavender. How is this possible? Prabhupada says even if you do not read the scripture and you do not have a guru, you can find God in the fragrance of a flower. And penance. So what does penance mean? Penance is you've done something wrong and you do something to put things back into balance. So the most basic penance is to apologize. Is that easy to actually apologize? No, very difficult. People will say, well, I'm sorry you felt offended. You understand? No? Do I need to explain this? If I say, oh, I'm so sorry you felt offended, am I apologizing?
Yes.
No, not at all. Do you understand that that is not an apology? Yes? No? You are tired? You've been waiting a long time? What is a genuine apology? That is when I am sorry that I have hurt you. I am not sorry that you felt hurt. That's your problem. You understand? Like, I am sorry, you are such a sensitive person that you felt offended. Very sorry about that you have all these problems. That's not an apology. An apology is I acknowledge that I am responsible for your hurt. So this is very difficult for the ego. And this kind of penance is Krishna. It's very interesting that right before the Chaturshloki in the Bhagavatam, in 2.9.23, Krishna says, Tapo me hridayam sakshat. Penance is directly my heart, Krishna says. Atmaham tapaso. Atma aham tapaso. Myself is penance. The life of all that lives. I'd like us to stop for a minute and become aware that we are alive. Even you, hey, with the phone, hey. Stop. I want you to feel that you are alive. Can you feel that you are alive? Feel your aliveness. The sense of being alive. And everyone else in this room is also having this sense of being alive. The whole world is full of this sense of aliveness. And that is Krishna. Intelligence. So all of us do something that is intelligent sometimes at least. And you know that feeling when you do something and you're like, that was really smart, yes? That feeling you get, that's Krishna. And he's the tejas, the power of anyone who is powerful. And 3 times he says he's the light of the sun. So we have no light of the sun in this room, but at least, and the sun's down outside now. But in the daytime, if you can notice, Prabhupada says the sunlight is little particles of sunlight. And usually we take it for granted. There's sunlight. But Krishna is that light of the sun. And the light of the moon, the beauty of the moon reminding us of Krishna's wonderful nighttime pastimes. And the ability in man, this is a very easy one to meditate on. So like right now, you have the ability to sit. Everybody is able to sit. And I think everyone here can see and hear. So you can try moving your fingers. How do you have that ability? Where does it come from? It's Krishna. We are always using some ability. And everyone around us is using some ability. So this is a very easy way to be always Krishna conscious. This is something Srila Prabhupada refers to a lot, rasamamapsikanteya, that I am the taste of water. When it's very hot, and we've been working hard, that taste of pure water. This is not water, but it is very refreshing. Actually, Prabhupada says this refers to any liquid that we can meditate. If you have fruit juice or soup or anything, that nice taste of the liquid, that is Krishna. Going on to chapter 9, I am the ritual, I am the kratu. So in the Hare Krishna movement, we have many rituals. And in our life, we have many rituals. Like at my oldest son's house, you have to put the dishes over there and the cups here and the spoons here. In my youngest son's house, we put the dishes here and the cups here and the spoons here. They have a different ritual. And these rituals are indicators of their desires. Similarly, the various rituals in the Shastra are indicators of the desire of the Lord, and the desire of the Lord and the Lord are the same. Not only the rituals, but the yagyas that are made up of rituals. So what do we mean by yagya? Yagya means a ceremony to connect with the divine. We have so many ceremonies to connect with people. If I want to call our daughter in America, I have to do a ceremony. I have to get out a phone, and the phone has to have a charge, and it has to be on the network, and I have to put in the correct number. One number wrong won't work, and it has to be the correct time. Different time in America, you understand? If I call when it's 5 in the morning here, she will not be happy. I will not make a connection. So most of the Vedic yajnas are like that. You have to do them the right time, the right way, the right everything. You make up one mistake, some demon comes out of the fire. So his ceremonies are how Krishna wants us to connect with him. Just like some people, they want you to call them on the phone and not text. You know, people like that. They don't want to text. Some people has to be WhatsApp, some people Telegram, some people Messenger, some people SMS. So Krishna has his ways to connect. And he's the offering to the ancestors. So Krishna is very pleased when we respect our elders and we continue the proper traditions. And the healing herb. So this is actually some herbal tea, and I've been feeling a little sick, I have a little cold. And when you take these herbs, we were given some nice Ayurvedic medicine also, which was very helpful. And you know what it's like when you feel sick and you take some herbs and you feel better, yeah? That power, that potency. Actually, in the Bhagavatam section of our book, you learn that these healing herbs are the breath of the Lord and the hairs of the Lord. So Krishna is the chant, so he is all sounds, but especially he's the sound of his name. So not only is he the ritual and the ceremony, he is also all the ingredients that we use to connect. And of course, every religion sees God as the Father. So all of us have a Father. I hope we have a good relationship with our Father. Not everybody does. Many of us in this room are fathers. And every day we are seeing so many fathers. So if you take what is the ideal father, giving the children love and education and protection and facility, and you multiply that by billions and billions of times, you can get some idea of what is Krishna. And Krishna says he's also the mother. So our bodies grow inside the body of our mother. Our bodies are nourished by the body of our mother. And similarly, we grow and are nourished by the energies of Krishna. Not only that, but especially the mother tends to love the children even if they are bad. Even a child becomes a criminal and is in jail, still the mother has affection. And like that, Krishna has affection for us, no matter how fallen, how sinful, how evil we may behave. He never loses his affection. So we have so many supports in our life. The building is supporting us, our job is supporting us, our money in the bank, our family perhaps is supporting us, our body, our health, our strength, our education. But all of these can crumble. Am I correct? But ultimately, Krishna is the support. If other things crumble, Krishna is always there as the support. And the grandfather, so we are in Krishna's family at Chutagotra. And like a loving grandfather, he is keeping us in his dynasty. Whatever we try to understand, ultimately, will bring us to Krishna. I read one scientist who said that when he studied science a little bit, he became an atheist. And when he studied deeply, he became a theist. The more that we study things, the more we will find the intelligence and the artistry of Krishna. And the purifier, we do many things to become purified. So we take bath, we wash our clothes. We take bath, we wash our clothes, we clean our house. Sure, this is very hard to do with one hand while I'm doing other things. Just be careful. Maybe we are taking some kind of medicine or something, or maybe we see some counselor, but that purifying potency in anything else. And anything else we do is actually Krishna. Without Krishna's potency, none of them would work. And again, Krishna says he is Om. So Om may be very simple. And Krishna also appears very simple. Lord Brahma made this mistake. He thought, oh, Krishna's just a little cowherd boy with some food in his left hand. Yeah? So we may think like that. Oh, Om is very simple. And I am the goal. Srila Prabhupada says that if our mind is disturbed, it means we don't have a goal. When we set our goals, we work to achieve them, and we achieve them. That is Krishna. So many things sustain us: the air, the temperature, the water, the food, our friends and family. But actually, Krishna is the sustainer. Without him, none of these things would be there, and none of them would actually sustain us. And the master. So how many of you have ever worked under a really good boss? How many of you have ever had a really good boss? That's a decent amount, more than I usually get. So twice in my life I was working under a really, really good boss. And it was so wonderful. You could just relax and do your work. And you knew the boss was taking care of everything. Yeah? So it's like that with Krishna. I read this one wonderful story that this Christian was writing how he was driving, he and his wife and their 2 children, like 3 and 5, and they put them in the car and they're driving. And they stop at the grocery store and the wife gets out and they wait in the car, and they go to the petrol station and they're putting in the petrol, they're waiting in the car. And they stop at a friend's house and the wife gets out. And then he's going too fast on the road and the police comes and give him a ticket. And they're going, and they've been in the car now 45 minutes, and the 3-year-old says, Daddy, where are we going? And he was thinking, to a 3-year-old, this is very strange. We are stopping here, and somebody's getting out and coming in, and the lights are flashing, and all these things. And she's just happy, and she doesn't even know where they're going. But what does she know? Who is driving? She knows who is driving. When we know that Krishna is driving, then we are peaceful. Now this one may make us nervous. We may think, oh, Krishna always sees what I'm doing. I cannot hide. We may become a little nervous. But it is not like that. It's that Krishna cares. So you can do an experiment. You can go to someone who loves you, and you can say, I would like to talk to you for 2 hours about everything I did today. What do you think? After 5 minutes, their mind is wandering. They'll not be interested. But Krishna, he's interested in everything we are thinking, everything we are feeling, everything we are doing, not only in this life, but for all of our thousands of lifetimes. This one is an easy thing to remember when we go home. So how do we feel when we go home? Now I can relax, I can be myself. Actually, Krishna is everywhere. And everywhere we can relax in Krishna and be our authentic self. So Srila Prabhupada says many times, one of them is in Bhagavatam Purport 3:21-17, that Krishna is like an umbrella. So now you have finished your rainy season. But sometimes you take an umbrella for the sun also, yes? So whenever you take an umbrella for the rain or the sun, Krishna is the refuge. And all of us have, I hope everyone has at least one good friend, I hope so. And you think about how you feel with your friend, that feeling of equality, that someone you have fun with. You are there when they need help, they are there when you need help. You understand each other, and you multiply that by infinity, and that is Krishna. So everyone is very enamored by both creation and destruction. Just like little children, they like to build something out of blocks, and then what do they do? What do they do? Destroy it. And they enjoy both, yes? So I was reading, there's this one lady, She earns her money by destroying block structures and taking videos. She builds these structures out of blocks, and then like you just knock one and then it goes. You understand? Like dominoes? Yeah, domino effect. And so people pay her money for her to create these structures and knock them down. So we are very enchanted by creation, and we are also very enchanted by destruction. So a secular view is we remove God from the story of our lives and the story of the world. We explain our lives and the world without God. That is secularism. But actually, Krishna is the basis of everything. Our joys, our sorrows, our hopes, our dreams, our frustrations. Underneath everything, there is Krishna. I really liked getting the pictures for this one. And this is a very easy one to think about. Whenever I lie down in my bed at the end of the day, I think Krishna is the resting place. If ever we are stressed, life is difficult, we know there's Krishna. I can always rest in Krishna. And again he says he's the seed. So the main food of most humans on this planet is seeds. Rice, wheat, corn, oats, barley, rye, and all of our beans and pulses and lentils are all seeds. Even many of our spices are seeds. The seeds are the concentrated form of energy. And whenever we are eating things with seeds, Krishna is this concentrated form of energy. Within every seed, there is also this potential for the new plant. How amazing. And I give heat. Krishna is the ability in man here, okay. Yeah. So you know when you are cooking, you know the heat, it heats up your food by making the molecules dance. Did you know that? That's how your clothes dry, in the heat also. The heat makes the water molecules in your clothes start dancing, and they dance off your clothes into the air. Did you know that? So when we are putting food on the heat, the molecules are dancing, and the juices get released and the flavors of the food. Similarly, whenever we are by Krishna, we start dancing, and all of our juices and flavors are released. So sometimes you see a rain cloud in the distance, and you can see one place it's raining, another place it is not raining. When I was a child, one time we were driving on the road. On our side of the road it was rain, other side it was not rain. Both death and immortality. So we are all very afraid of death. Why are we so afraid of death? Because death is finishing what we have invested in this life. My whole identity, my education, my relationships, probably say my bank balance, my possessions, my whole sense of personality and identity, and death finishes all of that. And we may find this very frightening, but actually it's Krishna. And beyond death, there is immortality. So there's nothing to fear. Although this external, temporary thing is finished, it is finished by the grace of God, and we go on forever. Going to chapter 10. Krishna is our beginning, our childhood, our middle age, our old age. And again he says he's the light of the sun that gives us clarity, courage, knowledge, information, the ability to work. Actually, all of the food we eat is a transformation of sunlight. The plants are taking sunlight by photosynthesis and turning it into food. Everything we are eating is simply this transformed light of the sun. The moon among the stars reminding us of Krishna surrounded by the cowherd boys or the gopis. The chief Deva who sends the thunder and lightning. Now we yogis, we may sometimes find the mind to be troublesome, but as the controller of the senses, it represents Krishna. And Prabhupada says we cannot think or desire anything that is outside the energy of Krishna. Krishna is our consciousness, our awareness. I'd like us to stop for a moment and become aware that we are aware. We are aware of where our fingers are. We are aware of our toes. We are aware of the end of our nose. Even with our eyes closed, we are aware of the space in the room, how much space is in front of us and to the sides of us and behind us. Similarly, everyone in this room is also aware. Can we become aware that everyone in this room is aware? The room is full of consciousness, and that is Krishna. Of the Rudras, he is Shiva. Although he destroys to benefit everyone. The great Meru, inscrutable, inconceivable, like Krishna. The ocean, unlimitedly broad and deep. And although appearing very simple, full of varieties of life, like Krishna is very deep, very broad, and full of so many pastimes. And again, Om. So Jiva Goswami says that the A is Krishna, the U is Radha, and the the Anushwar is all of us. And Krishna says he is all the yajnas, but especially chanting. Why? So the other yajnas we were saying, you have to have all the proper ingredients and all the proper rituals. You do one thing wrong, there's a problem. But you can chant Hare Krishna in your mind, quietly, loudly, by yourself, in a group, in the toilet room, in the train, in the bus, in your car, at work, any place. At 2 in the morning, at 2 in the afternoon. And you can always connect with Krishna. And the great Himalayas that never move, like the Lord, determined to save all of us from material life. And the banyan tree, how can you tell if you see a big banyan tree that they allow to grow? Yeah? And you cannot tell where is the beginning and where is the end, spreading everywhere. And the king, so people are still fascinated by royalty. So many people, they're watching King Charles get coronated. You know, how much more fascinating must be Krishna. And the lightning. So sometimes we have so many doubts, confusions, sadness, grief, anxieties, and then suddenly, like a bolt of lightning, we understand what to do. That is Krishna. And the Surabhi who gives unlimited milk or anything you desire, like Krishna can fulfill all of our desires. And there are many reasons that people want to have children, but Krishna says of all of those reasons, he is the love between the husband and the wife. And he is Yamaraj, so sometimes we see that good people apparently suffer, bad people are apparently enjoying, but we know behind all of that is the great universal and fair plan of the Lord. Everything we have is worn down by time. Our bodies, our possessions, everything. Nobody can stand against time. If we become aware of Krishna in every moment of time, in the now, 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 then we will not be disturbed by the subduing aspect of time. The lion who roars and all of the animals run away, like when Krishna speaks in the Bhagavad Gita, all the demons and atheists run away. And you know, when you put all your clothing out in the wind, and it gets that nice smell, you know, sometimes they try to imitate this smell with some chemicals in the washing powder. Or if your room is musty, you know, and you open the windows and you let in the air. And Parasuram, who takes out corruption in government and leaders. Whenever we see people who are rooting out corruption in leaders, we remember Parasuram. And the Makara, of course there's no English translation for Makara. Prabhupada, he will use shark or crocodile or dolphin, the great beasts of the sea. And the Ganges, Mother Ganga, the spiritual water from beyond the universe. The beginning, the middle, and the end. The top of the sandwich, the middle of the sandwich, the bottom of the sandwich. The beginning of the journey, when we get there, when we go home. The science of knowing the self. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 6:20 that when we know the self, we will relish and rejoice in the self. We have words like Atmarama, Atmarati, Atmatushta. Srila Rupa Goswami explains that we, the soul, have most of the qualities of God. In a very small degree, but we're very small, so that's okay. We are beautiful. We are a genius. We are effulgent. We're wonderful. And Krishna says when we see the self, we will think there is nothing greater to be gained than that. And we will never be disturbed by any material misery. So that is the greatest thing to know. Vada. Vada means when we have a discussion with the aim of finding truth. No ego. Then there's Jalpa. Jalpa is when we are having a discussion because I want to prove that I am right. I was having a long discussion with one devotee, and after some time I said to her, "What do you want?" She says, "Urmila, I want you to say that I am right." So that is Jalpa. And Vitanda, I'm not trying to find truth. I'm not trying to become right. I just want to prove that you are wrong. So there's Vada, to find truth. Jalpa, to prove that I am right. Vitanda, to prove that you are wrong. Krishna says he is Vada. So the sound without using the tongue, the lips, the teeth, that is the basis of all language. You know, our good times come and our good times go, but throughout all of them there is Krishna. And Krishna is the death not only of this body, he is the death when our education is over, the death of a relationship, the death of a home, the death of a job, the death of a project, the death of an idea. But like Prabhupada says, when the cat is carrying the kitten or carrying the mouse is feeling afraid and the kitten is feeling protected. Every ending brings a new beginning. Bali Maharaj told Sukracharya, he says, why not give to the Lord now when I'm alive? Everything is going to take anyway at death. If we are constantly giving to the Lord our life, our relationships, our homes, everything, then when they have their death, we will not be disturbed. Now this is a very funny one. This is the start before the start. So sometimes we start something, a relationship, a job, a project, and we realize, oh, actually this started many years ago. It started when I met that person, or when I read that thing, or when I went to that place. Yes, we've had this experience? Yes? The start before the start? That you didn't know it was a start and it was a start? That's Krishna. So there are many wonderful, famous women. Sita, Draupadi, Gandhari. When women are famous for Dharma, that is Krishna. When women are beautiful and fortunate, that potency is also Krishna. The private and public speech of women have often moved history. Actually, the Sudarshan is the master of speech that illuminates and destroys ignorance. And when women speak like that, that is Krishna. When women have memory, Prabhupada says when you can read a book and remember it very well. And when women have that memory, this child likes this child likes this, my husband likes this, that is Krishna. And then Meda. So what is that famous verse about Lord Chaitanya with the word Meda? No? Sumeda Sahan, yes. That anyone with good Meda, they will join the Sankirtan movement. And Srila Prabhupada says in Teachings of Queen Kunti that generally, sociologically speaking, there are more women than men in religious functions. He says because women have a natural intelligence to surrender to the Lord. So this nice meta of women, this intelligence of women is Krishna. When women are chaste and faithful and steadfast, that is Krishna. And the patience of women. So how many of you are mothers? How many mothers do you have? You're not a mother. How many mothers? Mothers. All right. Do you have to be patient with your children? Yes. And the men, you don't listen to this. Do you have to be patient with your husbands also? That's Krishna. Don't mind. He says, what can I do? Among poetry, I am the Gayatri. So those of us who chant Gayatri, this is God in the form of a poem. So November, December, this is the harvest months. And in every society, there's some harvest festival. What is our Gaudiya Vaishnava harvest festival? In Kartik, which festival? But which festival in Kartik is our harvest festival? Govardhan Puja, yes. And spring, so after the cold winter and the dark winter, when the flowers are there and the nice fragrances and things growing, the season of youth and gambling. This is very interesting. So usually when we are cheated, we do not know until later. Isn't it like that? Someone cheats you and you think, oh, they are my friend. And then later you find your bank account is empty. But gambling is not like this. In gambling, everyone agrees to be cheated in the beginning. Okay, let us sit down. I will try to cheat you and you will try to cheat me. And everybody says, yes, yes, this is a lot of fun. So of the splendid, I am the splendor. Splendor is the wow of anything. And Srila Rupa Goswami says this Adbhuta Ras, this wow, has to be present for there to be any rasa. For there to be any pleasure, there must be this wonder. The feeling of victory is Krishna. And adventure, actually we can see our whole life as an adventure. In an adventure, do you know how it will end? In an adventure, do you know how it will end? No. And if you know, then they call it a spoiler, right? So let us see our life as an adventure. And the strength of the strong, even the demons, their strength is coming from Krishna. Punishment. So if we are feeling safe, that criminals are being punished, that is Krishna. This is an interesting one. So sometimes in life's difficulty, we lose. Sometimes we lose our battles of life, isn't it? But sometimes we lose a battle of life, but we kept our principles. We kept our morals, we kept our ethics, we kept our ideals. Have you had this experience? You lost the battle, but you didn't compromise. Didn't you feel a little bit victorious? Yeah? That's Krishna. Prabhupada writes something wonderful in this purport. This is Bhagavad Gita 10:38. He says, among the confidential activities of hearing, thinking, and meditating, silence is most important, because by silence one can make progress very quickly. Often we want to talk to Krishna, but in the silence we can hear him. Not just our intelligence, but our insight, our wisdom is Krishna. And again he says he's the seed, but the seed of everything. The seed of our ideas, the seed of our projects, the seeds of our relationships, of our jobs, of our learning. And I love meditating on this one. This world is full of so much beauty and glory and wonder and amazing things. And this is just one little planet in the universe. And if you put all of that together, it would just be a tiny spark of how wonderful is Krishna. So, how wonderful must be Krishna. Now here he says he's the splendor of the sun, the beauty we see at sunrise, the beauty at sunset, the beauty of noon, the splendor of the moon as it reflects like diamonds on the water or fills the night sky like a pearl, the splendor of fire. Don't we like to watch fire, the dancing fire? That splendor of fire. And how he is keeping the planet in orbit. You know, this planet is moving very fast. Everybody knows the planet is moving, but we don't feel it. So we came here in a car very slowly, but we did feel that it was moving sometimes. You're on a vehicle, you can feel that it's moving. But we're on this earth, we don't feel that it's moving. What an amazing driver. And through the moon, Krishna is giving all the different tastes to all the different vegetables. And this is a very nice one to meditate on. Right? So yesterday I ate some very delicious rice, and then Krishna, in the fire of digestion, he turned that rice into my nose. How did he do that? Right? My fingernails, John. My fingernails, they used to be, right, some tomato. How does he do that? How does he turn tomatoes and rice into fingernails and a nose and hair? And this is a wonderful thing to meditate on every time we eat. And not only the fire of digestion, he joins with the air of life to move the food from our mouth to our esophagus, to our stomach, to our small intestines, to all of our blood vessels throughout our body, because he loves us so much. And this is one of the favorite verses of my family, Bhagavad Gita 15:15. Sarvasya Mriti San Viso Matas Tirgan Mapo Anamcha. So whenever anyone in my family would lose something, we would say, chant 15:15. And so then we would walk around the house, Krishna, where are my keys? Sarvasya Mriti San Viso Matas Tirgan Mapo Anamcha. So once when I was traveling, one devotee said to me, Urmila, I can't find my phone. And I said, well, just chant 15:15. So she started walking around the room saying, 15:15, 15:15. If you're listening. She's a good friend. Okay, so now I asked all of you at the beginning to take some notes of 1, 2, or 3 things that you would like from this presentation to meditate on this week. So some volunteers, what did you pick? Yes. Dear friend, okay, somebody else? Yes.
Being a father, I will remember is a father of all evil.
Father.
Fire of digestion.
Fire digestion. Yes.
I'm the psi level O.
Huh?
I'm the psi level O.
Syllable Om, yes. Very good. Excellent. Someone else? Yes.
Krishna is universe.
He's the universe. Oh, but something from here.
Taste of the water.
Taste of the water. Someone else.
And the light of the sun and the moon.
Light of the sun, the moon. Yes. Chanting the holy name. Yes. I mean, he is the universe. But that, you know, if you want to meditate on how Krishna is the universe, you have to come to my class this morning. That was, yes?
Punjabi.
In Punjabi Bhavan. Are we going to give that class again?
Noida.
In Noida. So if you come to my class tomorrow, what time?
8 a.m.
8 a.m. And I think we will actually get there on time. Or in here, in the third part, we discuss how Krishna is the universe. That's this part. Okay, who else? Yes?
And the fragrance of the earth.
Fragrance of the earth. Yes.
In science, spiritual science.
The science of knowing the self. Yes.
Krishna is time.
Time. Excellent. Do you want subduing time? Which time? Okay. Yes.
Krishna is very powerful.
He's the strength of the strong. Whenever you use any strength, where does your strength come from?
Krishna.
Whenever you do anything strong, do you do strong things? Yeah, I sure you do. That's Krishna. Anytime you do anything strong. Yes? 15. He gets a lot of sweet, this one. Okay, somebody else?
Of all the senses and the mind.
Oh, the mind, yes.
Krishna is a dear friend.
Dear friend, another dear friend. Okay, somebody else.
Krishna is our goal. Goal. Krishna is goal.
Krishna is
Goal, oh, yes. Anybody else? Yes, yes. The medicines, yes. Resting place. That is one of the nicest ones. Yes. Somebody else.
Krishna
Yes.
is silence.
Silence, yes. Yeah, the sounds I own, yes. Somebody else. The victory of morality, yes. Basis of everything, that's a lovely one. So I need to stop now. We have some, because I have a morning class. And I have to get back. I think not so bad traffic going back, right? I hope. So we have some books here. You want me to show the other books also? Okay. So Nanda Gopal Jivan of Golden Age Media, he very nicely publishes all these books, and any books that you want. So we have this one that we were talking about today. All right? And this is another new book. This is Career Dharma. So what is it that Srila Prabhupada talked about and wrote about and said he really wanted, and it was very important, and nobody knows what it is or how to do it? Can I hear more than one person? It's late, everybody's tired. What is it? Varnashram, yes. So this is about mostly the Varna part, how to find what is your proper career. If you have children, how to help them find their proper career. How to do your career as seva, so that you don't see any difference between your sadhana and your work, and how to have a perfect society. So this book, I worked with a co-author, Dr. Ruchira Datta. So my PhD is in education, hers is in mathematics. She's also a scientist. She's done a lot of cancer research. And we spent 6 years researching this from Shastra, and also we have about 400 other sources in here as well. This has been a bestseller on Amazon since we released it a couple months ago. So we have this book. This is also very new. And then we have this book, How to Chant Without Offense, with lots of nice pictures, very simple book. This is a novel, How to Go from Material Life to Krishna Prema, and it's a Krishna conscious novel. And then this is Raghunath Das Goswami's Instructions to the Mind, Step-by-Step Guide to Achieve Spontaneous Love. And this is with Bhaktivinoda's commentary in prose and in poetry. And it has 120 black and white illustrations and also many beautiful color illustrations. So So we have all of these available, and I can't stay very long, so if you want to go, you're going to need to get going, because I definitely want to get going. Thank you again, and again, I'm really grateful for your patience. Those of you who waited here for so long for me to come, I'm extremely grateful. I expected to come and find only 5 people. So, and most of you were very attentive and engaged, even though it was late. And I'm just feeling overwhelmingly grateful for this wonderful family that Srila Prabhupada has created. So anything good you have found in this presentation is due to Srila Prabhupada. Anything bad is from me. And please take the good and leave the bad. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.